You never stop at red lights when driving into the black township of Tembisa. Everyone is a potential victim.
The group that we are going to visit, they're just criminals. People who are doing everything in their powers to make ends meet. And as far as they are concerned, for them it's a do or die situation.
Our passport through these menacing streets is Elias Maluleki, crime reporter for the City Press. He's taking us to meet the Gents, a criminal gang which terrorises the wealthy white suburbs of Johannesburg. They seem like just a bunch of kids, but beneath the bravado lies a very real brutality.
I take the payrolls on the gate, and when they fight, I fight. When they shoot, I shoot.
Taking my gun in the house, going to see the money in the town. When I get you, like you having money, I kill you, I take your money, that's all. Nothing I can do, because I need the money. I'm suffering.
This is how the Gents escape, a mind-numbing night of booze and drugs at the local tavern. Apartheid has entrenched a culture of violence which has overtaken the colour divide, where attacker one day is victim the next. My drinking partner, Happy Lawrence, a case in point. After leaving us, he was kidnapped by Inkatha and beaten senseless. Retribution for stealing from one of their hostels. How likely is it that a new government will bring these people back into the mainstream?
Unlikely. Already we have a culture of violence, a culture of intolerance, and a leeway has been given to people to believe that they can do whatever they want. And obviously the Africanist Congress or the new government, for that matter, will not have the money to meet and to satisfy the needs of all South Africans.
Violence is not caused by those who carry a gun. It is also caused by poverty, illiteracy, hunger. All these are evils of apartheid.
For Nelson Mandela, South Africa's next president, one of the biggest challenges will be guaranteeing a future for the nation's youth and winning their trust. With half the population under the age of 19 and 2/3 under 35, he cannot afford to fail.
We are going to address these problems.
Bunny, what do you think of Nelson Mandela?
He's a powerful leader.
In this Soweto family, Barney Malloy is the only one who doesn't need convincing. His 20-year-old son Temba believes the ANC, like his father, has sold out, too keen to join forces with the white oppressors.
I mean, Mandela is a capitalist, he's a clear capitalist. Like de Klerk himself, those are both clear capitalists.
Barney Malloy was once a student radical like his son.
I used to stay there. That was my chair. That's where all the naughty boys used to stay there.
And you were leader of the pack, were you?
Not actually. That's why I used to stay there.
Barney was part of the Soweto Uprising, an event which thrust youth onto the front line in the war against apartheid. It was from here, on June 16, 1976, that Barney and his classmates set off on what should have been a peaceful protest against apartheid schooling. It turned out to be a day of carnage. Police opening fire on thousands of unarmed schoolchildren.
At least 23 people are believed to have been killed and over 200 injured in a rampage by 10,000 Africans. Police were called in.
3 of Barney's friends were shot dead. He was savaged by a police dog.
What I expected is for the police to approach us in a decent manner, to can say maybe go homes, despairs, like warning a child, but they didn't act like that. They just blow us with the live ammunition.
After the Soweto uprising, there was no turning back for the nation's youth. They became the foot soldiers in the armed struggle, the people who risked their lives fighting the police and defence forces in the townships. Temba's generation grew up knowing nothing but rebellion. So when Mandela held out his hand to National Party leader F.W. de Klerk, many young people felt betrayed. What do you make of Temba when he says that Mandela is a traitor?
Okay, sometimes I feel like chasing him out of the house, but it's my son.
Those of you who are watching this discussion at your homes, look to us.
Temba was only 2 years old when his father was ducking bullets in the Soweto uprising. But 18 years later, he's more bitter than Barney.
One can never forget injustice, but you can forgive. And we need forgiveness.
It's a super statement. I do agree with de Klerk.
De Klerk must be talking nonsense, really. I'm not accepting that statement. He's talking bullshit. What has happened to my father in 1976? It's something that I cannot forgive. It's something that I cannot forget.
Peace amongst the Africans. War against the enemy. War against the enemy. Peace amongst the Africans. One settler. One bullet. One settler.
Never be intimidated by settlers ever in your life, my Africa.
Temba and his comrades are members of the student wing of the Pan-Africanist Congress, the PAC, a militant 1950s offshoot of the ANC. It's likely to poll better in the elections than the more publicised Inkatha. The PAC's enemy is the settler, non-Africans who've colonised their land and seized their government. They believe until their land is won back, all else is meaningless.
Their arrival was unaccepted. They even went to the moon. I don't know what they were wanting in the moon. Only to find that there was no one. If there was someone in the moon, they were going to colonize that somebody in the moon. To make that thing really, it's true what I'm saying. They left a flag, there is a flag in the moon, that they were there.
The PAC rallying cry, one settler, one bullet, understandably makes most whites nervous. But I was told not to take it too personally.
I was wondering if I could ask whether you think there is any room in South Africa for white people.
We do have a room for the white people, only if they can understand us and, pay their allegiance to Africa, but they're not going to be Africans. They're still going to be Euro-Africans.
It may be school holidays, but for Temba and his comrades, there's no time off from politics. Life in Soweto doesn't allow it. Apartheid scars every part of their existence, depriving them of housing, healthcare, jobs and recreation. For these people, everything is a political exercise, even sport. Temba and his PAC comrades play soccer not only to keep fit, but also to raise money for those struggling to meet rent and school fees.
Almost everything is political. As the African people here, we have been robbed of our land. So whatever we do here, it's basically under the will of this regime.
Like his father, Temba was spurred into political action after police killed 2 of his friends. So, at that point, what were your feelings about what action you could take?
To take up arms against the state. That was my feeling, to take up arms against the state.
And did you do that?
I wouldn't wish to comment on that. Can I reserve my comment?
If an ANC-led government can provide jobs and houses, will it be able to convince people to put aside armed struggle?
It will convince the people who will be having houses. But those who won't be having houses, they won't be convinced.
Will you be voting in this election?
No, definitely no. I'm not going to vote. I'm not going to vote. I'm totally against these votes.
It's been a long time we've been waiting for a day like this to come. We gotta do it now.
But not all young people are so negative.
We gotta vote. We got to vote. We got to vote. We gotta vote.
Bands like the Prophets of the City are part of a massive campaign to get young people excited and involved in the election. Their message? Vote and start building the new South Africa. Around Soweto, there's a group of young people doing just that. Instead of waiting for a new government to deliver them jobs, they've created their own. It's probably the only option in a country where just 1 out of every 100 school leavers finds formal work.
Come in.
How are you, Star?
Fine, thanks.
Fine. I'm from the green team. I've come to collect the garbage.
Okay, here's the garbage. Let's go.
Okay.
Let's go over there.
Stanley Mtembu is one of 30 members of the Green Team, a recycling operation which began in Soweto just 2 months ago.
Okay, are you going to give me another pack?
Yes, here's the other pack.
How many?
I'll give you one.
Why a special one?
Lately we'll be coming very soon to collect.
Please try to be quick because this one bag is full up within 2 days.
Okay.
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 My pleasure. Bye.
Bring that box. Bring it to me.
The employees own the company, along with the ANC Youth League, which provided the start-up money. The team collects rubbish free of charge from 50,000 homes, then recycles it for profit. And the more profit, the more jobs. For the Tembisa Gents, the only thing that delivers is crime. Hardened criminals like these already account for 5% of the nation's youth, and another 25% are teetering on the edge. The Gents say they'd prefer an honest living to stripping stolen cars, but few of them can see it happening.
After the elections, I can work, I can go back to school. But if whatever, there's no change, it's just like now. I'll go back and steal.
How long will you give Mr. Mandela?
I'm giving this fucking 94.
Just the end of this year?
Yeah. When the thing is not changed, I'm going back to my strategy.
Saturday morning, outside Soweto Cemetery. The traffic is banked up for kilometres. Even for the most optimistic of South Africa's youth, this is still the reality. For Tembisa Taka, there are almost weekly pilgrimages to the graveyard to bury his comrades. Today, it's 24-year-old Leonard Malemi, an ANC cadre allegedly shot by Inkatha members with whom only days before he'd been talking peace. Tembisa has been told he's also on the hit list. Is there anything an ANC-led government could do that would convince you that a solution can be found peacefully?
No, nothing at all.
Yeah!